So welcome back guys to another video, and today I'm answering some questions for a Q&A that I filmed last week. I did a raw vlog and I was like, you know what, I'm celebrating the 2,000 subscriber milestone on my channel by doing a Q&A. And I got some questions off of YouTube, I got a lot of questions off Facebook, and with that being said, I'm not going to be able to answer every single question. Some of the questions were kind of deep. Stuff like net neutrality, I don't want to talk about on this channel. I kind of want to stick to video games and no political and current event talks, not too much. But some of the questions as well, I was like, you know what, these would make really good videos. So I left some of the questions out purposely because I can make discussion videos and vlogs about that later on this channel. So without further ado, here we go. The first question was from Kyle. He asked, what are your thoughts on the fabled Resident Evil 2 remake? Now, first off, I have to say, I haven't been following any news on Resident Evil 2 with the remake. I haven't seen anything new about it. I saw some rumors, but nothing to really get me too excited. It's one of those games that I would love to play a Resident Evil 2 remake, but there's so many games that have came out in 2017 I haven't even touched yet. I have such a huge backlog, and there's so many great games coming out in 2018 that I'm just not losing sleep about anything about Resident Evil 2. I just want to find out the release date, maybe see the official trailer, and just go from there. So that's my thoughts on Resident Evil 2. Now, Jim asks, if you had to choose, what is your favorite retro game console? That's a loaded question right there. First off, you know, what is retro? Because one of my favorite consoles of all time, the Sega Dreamcast, it's hard for me to consider that retro, but technically it is retro. But that would be my choice to Jim. Now, if I was to talk about my favorite, like, nostalgic retro console, would have to be the NES, because that's where I originally started. That was my first console my grandfather ever got me. After I played his Atari 2600, and that's where it just all began, was the original NES. Sean asks, what's your thoughts on weird trends in communities like that god-awful Dreamcast 2 fakery that kept popping up? You know, here's the thing about Dreamcast 2. It's never going to happen. If you want to play the Dreamcast 2, play the OG Xbox, where you played games like the sequels to Panzer Dragoon with Panzer Dragoon Orta, or the sequel to Jet Grind Radio, or, you know, all the Crazy Taxi games. There were so many games that came out for the OG Xbox. To me, that was the Dreamcast 2. Now, when it comes to, is Sega ever going to make a brand new console? No, because it's not the same Sega company, you know, it's not the same people, it's not the same atmosphere and everything. So whenever I see stuff like this come up, it never really bothers me unless I get, you know, tons of people that tag me in it and they act like it's legit. Like, dude, when it's fake news like this, do some research. It is what it is. It keeps life interesting, I guess. Aaron asks, what games have you played that you found to be hidden gems? What games have you played that very few know about? Now, I cannot really answer this, and the reason why, Aaron, is because I have a whole series dedicated to this concept called Games You Should Check Out. So, I advise Aaron and everyone else to check out that playlist on my channel, Games You Should Check Out, where I talk about games that you guys should be playing, and I get recommendations from viewers like you with our 1-minute crunch, where they have to describe a game that everyone else should play in at least 1 minute. But for the sake of the video, a hidden gem that I would say would be Charlotte's Web on the Game Boy Advance. Really fun platformer. Daniel asks, what's the worst game you ever played? That's easy. Last Action Hero on the Super Nintendo. Matter of fact, I had tried to replay that not too long ago, and it still sucked. It was still horrible. Okay, Ryan asks, do you think the Leafs will make it to the Stanley Cup Finals this year? Seriously though, what are your thoughts on VR gaming? I think it's a long way to go before I'll actually get into it. You know, I think VR gaming is really interesting. Do I think it's the future? Not for now, but I think it has potential to be the future of how we play video games, or at least a side way we play video games, kind of like how the Wii had its motion controls but had games that you didn't have to use motion controls. Right now, I understand, you know, getting a VR headset for PS4 is very expensive, but for now, it is what it is. I think later on, as the technology progresses, those aspects will become cheaper, and it will definitely be a huge staple in the video games in the future. Right now, though, VR gaming is just glorified tech demos. It's just the way it is. Cheap thrills. Dom asks, can hardcore collectors or casual appreciate not only emulation, but items such as the SNES Classic and Atari Flashbacks? I think so. Now, I want to say I am, one of those people that are like, hey, why don't you just build a Raspberry Pi? Because the Raspberry Pi is freaking awesome, and it's easy to make. But I do that a lot because I get tired of all the complaints, and people are like, oh, I wish I could get an NES Mini. Nintendo doesn't know what they're doing. I guess I'll never play these games. And there's so many other ways that you can play it, and I think that's what I appreciate, that there's so many ways to play these games. And I think a lot of other, gamers and hardcore collectors kind of acknowledge with that as well. We live in a great age that we can play anything we want with the convenience that we want. Whether it's on your cell phone, or whether it's on, an Android box or a Raspberry Pi, or even your laptop or a plug-and-play or clone console. We live in such great times that we can enjoy the games from our childhood without paying the hacked prices of eBay and resellers. It's freaking amazing. Chris asks, when did you get into Dragon Ball Z, and what was your favorite arc, favorite fight, and favorite transformation? Now, I got into the Dragon Ball series with the original Dragon Ball. That's what got me into it. I used to get up at like 5 a.m. in the morning and watch the original Dragon Ball. I didn't know about Dragon Ball Z until I was reading video game magazines, and I would look in the back and they would have like imports, and they would have Dragon Ball Z figures, and I kind of put two and two together. And it was in middle school I finally started watching it on Toonami, probably just like everyone else. And my favorite arc would, of course, Dragon Ball Z would have to be Frieza. I love that arc. Also, favorite fight, Gohan versus Cell. And it pains me that Gohan does not get treated like he did during the Cell games. I wish Gohan would have done more. He's redeemed himself in Super somewhat, but not the same. Not the same goosies that I felt when Gohan and Goku did that Kamehameha to kill Cell. That was freaking amazing. Favorite transformation, though? It's not really a transformation, I guess, but it would have to be Majin Vegeta, because Vegeta's awesome, and Majin Vegeta was just so badass. And the next question was asked from John, asking, most embarrassing YouTube moment. Anything I uploaded before 2014. It's pretty embarrassing, but you have to start somewhere. Before then, I wasn't using Sony Vegas, and I didn't know as much as I knew, or know now about video editing and whatnot, and audio and stuff like that. But to be serious, I guess one of my most embarrassing videos would be my hentai unboxing with my friend Devin. We went to Animazement, and he got a brown bag, mystery bag of hentai, and we did an unboxing of it, and it was pretty bad. The fact that people know that I own a copy of Sailor and the Seven Balls says a lot. Alright, next question is from Kino, who asks, now that it's been quite some time since you sold a chunk of your collection, how do you feel about that decision? Would you have done anything differently? Side note, I respect you for doing what had to have been done. Okay, so I sold a good chunk of my collection because of finances. I had gotten laid off my job. I needed money. But that's just the snippet of selling my collection. If you guys have been longtime viewers, I actually uploaded a video prior, almost like an omen. I uploaded a video saying I was done collecting cart-based media. I was done collecting that side of retro because I got a Raspberry Pi, and I didn't like the way collecting had went about how expensive these games were. So I was already done. So I don't regret selling the collection because I was no longer connected to that collection anymore. It was no longer something that was a part of me. Do I regret, or what have I done differently? I don't think I would have done anything differently. I sold a lot of the games for good prices, for good friends, and on eBay. I didn't like scalp and do anything crazy per se, but I mean, I made my money back, and that money helped me, do normal things like buy food and stuff like that to get myself back on my feet. So I don't regret it. I feel great that I did it because I can still play retro games. I can still play anything I want to play. It's just the way it is. I guess I was being kind of an adult about it, but yeah. Tyler asks, favorite video game commercial, and do you think that sports games tend to get a bad reputation because of its yearly releases? Favorite video game commercial would be Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It was like an infomercial where they used the cartridge to like clean up stains on the carpet and clean up like dog hair and stuff. I thought that was a really cool Sega commercial. And about sports games, I don't really play sports games, so I don't really have an opinion on it. I mean, when I do play sports games, I play stuff like NBA Jam or NBA Street, NFL Blitz, Mutant League Football. So I mean, does it get a bad rap? I mean, it is what it is. They still make tons of money off the same Madden games that come out. They just change the roster. People enjoy it, Joel asks, why does everyone think Shinobi 3 is the best Shinobi game when it's clearly the Revenge of Shinobi that is the better one? Joel, I have to agree. Why? Why do people do that? Now, I do have to say that I'm a little biased because Revenge of Shinobi was composed by Yuzo Koshiro, who is one of my favorite video game composers. He did Revenge of Shinobi, he did Streets of Rage, he did Ys. I really enjoy his music, and also I share a birthday with him. Me, Yuzo Koshiro, and Frank Sinatra all share our birthdays on December 12th. So, yeah. I don't know. I personally think Revenge Shinobi is one of my favorite Sega Genesis games of all time, though. Chris asks, what is your least favorite pizza topping? A lot of people would be like, anchovies. But I've never actually had anchovies, but I'm not a big olive person. I can tolerate it. I'm not a picky eater. I don't like green olives at all. But black olives are okay. But I guess that would be it. If someone had, got a pizza with black olives, I'd probably still eat it. It's pizza. Okay, now here's some of the YouTube questions. BioPhoenix asks, what's a game soundtrack that you really love but you don't hear enough people talk about it? That's easy. The Ys series. Any song by Ys of that video game has fantastic music, and I don't hear enough people talk about it. And that's why, I use it as a lot as background music for my videos. I've played it on my audio podcast when we take our musical break. I just love that soundtrack so much. My favorite would probably be is a toss-up between E7 and Oath of Fangana. I really love those tracks a lot. Kid Shirukin asks, what would be your ultimate crossover fighting game? It took me a while to think of that, but I just want another Capcom vs. Tatsunoko 2. I just want a sequel to Capcom vs. Tatsunoko. That's all I want. Or maybe just remake it and put it as online and make it HD remastered because it was originally on the Wii. But, I mean, I guess if they were to ever make a crossover game, maybe, I don't know, Power Rangers versus Kaiju. That'd be kind of cool. Seeing Godzilla fight the Megazord, or Gamera versus giant robots. I don't know. that would just be awesome. Down Phoenix asks, when are you gonna do a Pachinko World video? I know you said you'll do one, but I'm anxious, dude, even though I've been there. And are you still working on that comedy show? Okay, now I work at Pachinko World, which is the only pachinko parlor in the United States for now until he opens up his next location in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And that video is coming soon. I've just been so busy. I got games I got to review that I had companies send to me that I feel obligated to do that first. Plan on doing that. I really want to make a video of like how to play Pachinko, because a lot of people don't even know how to play it. And also my comedy show, Two Odd Gamers, that I did with my alter ego Kevin Savage, is on a definite hiatus. I just don't have time to do it. I was going to work on this 5 to 6 episode sitcom series, like 30 minutes long each episode, and with script writing and working 2 jobs, playing in a band, and trying to have constant uploads, I feel like I could put it out, but I would not be happy with it. I would feel like I would not be giving it 100%, so it's an indefinite hiatus. I plan on doing more Kevin Savage videos. I plan on doing more of that, but as of the sitcom, it's on a definite hold. I don't know when it's going to come out. It's like the Chinese Democracy album of my channel. Silver Music Box, he asks, if you could make any side character get his own game, who would it be and how would it play? I would love to see a game based off Yamcha from Dragon Ball Z. And I know Yamcha is very, meme-worthy, and a lot of people make fun of him. He became like the Dan of the Dragon Ball series. But let's have a prequel. Let's have a before Dragon Ball with Yamcha, back when he was a bandit in the desert. That would be awesome. Kind of like an action platforming beat 'em up. I would buy that day one. Let's have more Yamcha love. Definitely. Okay, and I can't even pronounce this username. It's just a bunch of numbers and YouTube. Yeah, you see what it is. Yes, nice place, look nice. He's talking about Pachinko World in the vlog. Anyway, should the Nintendo Switch implement a system-based achievement like trophies and achievements from Sony and Microsoft, respectively? I think so. Now, I'm not a trophy hunter or achievement guy, but I think it's very important. It gives games a lot of replay value, and also a lot of people do enjoy it, so why not? Why haven't we gotten some sort of achievement program from Nintendo? Like, you get little stars for stuff, or little mushrooms, or however it is. That would just be freaking awesome. And I believe this is... Okay, I got 2 more questions. Black Metal Gamer, what modern game would you like to see have a spin-off retro style demake? Man. How about an 8-bit Yakuza game? That's easy enough. I would like that. Nintendo Paul, what is your favorite Donkey Kong game on the NES and why? I would have to go with the original, because I had so many memories of the original Donkey Kong Country. It's just such a great game, and I love the opening. I love the, there's a track on that game that sounds like an Iron Maiden tune. I think it's like towards the last level or so. I can't remember the name of the track, but it sounds like Hallowed Be Thy Name, because it's got dun 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 dun. Yeah, I'll probably just use it as background music for this part, but it sounds like Iron Maiden. I love it, so yeah. Anyway, guys, yeah, that looks like that's going to be all the questions. If I didn't get to your question, I apologize, but it's probably because I'm probably going to make it into a video, to be honest. And I want to thank everyone who sent in their questions. And best of all, I want to say thank you guys for supporting my channel. I'm so glad that I hit that 2,000 subscriber milestone, and I'm hoping that I continue to keep getting growth and keep on finding new people to talk to about video games, and it's been freaking awesome. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the bell. The bell's going to be beside the subscription button, and this will notify you on all future uploads on my channel. I have a lot of reviews coming up very, very soon. It's going to be awesome. But anyway, guys, remember, every Sunday and every Wednesday, it's going to be a brand new upload on this channel. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.